Now turn to Section 3. In this section, you will hear a discussion between three students, David, Joseph, and Carrie. In the first part of the discussion, they will be talking about lounges in different school buildings on campus. First, look at questions 21 to 24. Note the examples that have been done for you. Now listen to the first part of the discussion and answer questions 21 to 24. Complete the table showing the types of seating available and the number of seats in each lounge.
Hey, Joseph. Long time no see. How's it going?
Oh, hey, David. It's going fine. I'm a little overwhelmed with all these new courses, but I'm hanging in there. Have you met my girlfriend, Carrie?
No. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, David. Joseph told me about you. You two had quite the time last semester in European history, I hear.
Yeah, we like to hang out after class. Now it's a little harder, though. Lounges aren't as good as they were back there in Wilson Hall.
Yeah, they had chairs, couches, and tables to put your stuff on. And that lounge was full. There must have been 25 seats in there.
Really? The lounge in Jones Hall, where I have my communications course, only has about 10 chairs. It's awful. We all just stand around or leave. I wish we could hang out more.
Well, Agriculture Hall is next door. Their lounge is on the first floor, and it has couches. I think there are about 6 of them, and they're comfortable and hardly used at all.
That's not a good idea. Thanks.
But don't go to lounge at Skidmore Hall. I don't even know why they call it a lounge. It's just 4 chairs in the corner of the main walkway.
In the second part of the discussion, David, Joseph, and Carrie continue talking about conducting a survey. Look at questions 25 to 32 first. As you listen to the discussion, complete the table showing the number of points 1, 2, or 3 awarded to each hall for the quality of its facilities. 1 has been done as an example. Listen carefully and answer questions 25 to 32.
Guys, we should really do something about those lounges. I mean, couldn't we gather signatures and try to get the university to improve some of the facilities?
Yeah, that's a great idea. But we can't just say something random like, oh, you need to make the buildings nicer. We should come up with some kind of ranking system and have students rank buildings, how beautiful they are, how nice they are, etc.
Well, if we were ranking on a scale of 1 to 3, you all know that I would rank Skidmore Hall a 1. Like I just said, that place is awful. No facilities. The bathrooms are way down in the basement.
You're right. But they do have a nice balcony on the 3rd floor. That might increase its value.
But you shouldn't rank the architecture. You should rank how nice the building is for students to hang out in.
Oh, okay. Then I agree with you.
So should we do this? I think it's a great idea. But let's try it ourselves on a couple buildings so that we can work out any bugs in it. I think Wilson Hall is the best.
Sure, but we've already begun. We will give a building 1 point if it has poor facilities, not enough chairs and no vending machines, that kind of thing. And give a building 2 points if it is okay or acceptable. We can rank buildings that we really like as having 3 points. So like Joseph said, I think Wilson Hall is the best. It should have 3 points for sure. And Skidmore has a 1. Now what other buildings should we rank?
How about Merris Hall?
No, they're not done with that one yet. But it looks like that will be a good place to hang out. How about Agriculture Hall? You said something about that hall a bit earlier.
Oh yeah, they have that lounge with couches that no one uses. But that might indicate that people don't hang out there for other reasons.
They don't have any drink machines. That's why I never go there.
Oh, well, then I think it's an average building. Let's give it the middle ranking.
I agree. It could be improved slightly, but it's got a couple of nice features. I like that lounge in that third floor, for example, but the stairs are too short. I always trip when I'm walking up them.
This ranking is getting complex. Okay, one building we haven't talked about is Canton Hall. What do you guys think of Canton?
Is that next to the law building?
Yep. It's got this excellent connecting corridor with chairs and desks to relax and work at. The cafeteria there is great too. I think that place is just as good as Wilson.
Well, I've only been there once, and didn't know that was what it was called. It was kind of confusing, and it's kind of far for me to go, but I liked it. So I'll give it the middle ranking. 2 points because it had nice facilities, but a poor and confusing layout.
Oh, Joseph, you like Canton Hall? I hate that place. It's so mechanical, cold and impersonal. The furniture is nice, sure, but it's the last place on campus I would go to. I give it a 1.
Interesting. Well, let's write this little survey up and start passing it around.
I don't have time to type it up. Can you?
Sure. I'll do it after my biology class. Should we meet up at Wilson tonight around 8?
Sure.
No problem. We'll see you then.
This is the end of Section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Section 4. Now turn to Section 4. You will hear an extract from a VOA radio program on Australian immigration policies. First, you have some time to look at questions 33 to 40. Now listen to the first part of the discussion and answer questions 33 to 35. Tick the relevant boxes in each column.
Immigration Minister Philip Ruddock and many of his detractors seem to agree on one issue. In the past, Australia's responses to refugees were generous. Between July 1, 1949 and June 30, 1950, Australia admitted more than 90,000 refugees for resettlement, many more than in any other financial year in its history. An impressive achievement indeed. Who were these people? Almost all of them were Europeans, from countries such as Britain, France, Germany, and Italy. A small minority also came from China. Nearly all of these refugees were displaced persons who were resettled under the auspices of the International Refugee Organization. Most, other than those from China, were actually invited to join an orderly queue to gain admission to Australia. Even at a time when Australia admitted a comparatively large number of refugees, however, its generosity was self-interested. In the late 1940s, the government was anxious to significantly increase Australia's population. Only when it could not procure a sufficient number of British immigrants did it turn to refugees, mostly European refugees. This became clear when Australia refused refugees from many third world nations such as Nigeria, Thailand, and India. While things are a lot different now, the history of resettlement in Australia has not always been so interracial.
Now look at questions 36 to 40. Now answer questions 36 to 40. Write no more than 3 words for each answer.
Australians have historically responded to suffering in faraway places with compassion because of 2 factors: previous governments and the belief that Australians like to give others a fair go. This wasn't because of a belief that refugees make good immigrants. If a nation wants to increase its population, then it should recruit immigrants on the basis of their skills, education, state of health, gender, and age, if not cultural background, not because they had to flee their homes. This belief was just because Australians were compassionate towards refugees, and refugees have consistently totaled 36% of total immigrants to Australia. In the founding years of this nation, that percentage was much higher. Now, however, the trend is to remove compassion and base immigration policy on hard facts. This goes contrary to the compassionate notion that returning a refugee to his country of origin when there is a risk that they might suffer harm is fundamentally wrong. Australia's new realistic approach takes a different approach. This approach thinks an immigrant should have value for the nation. If he or she does not, then they are returned to their homeland. The negative side of this policy was seen recently when a stowaway from the Middle East was returned to his homeland. That government promptly had him executed. Whether or not this Iranian would have made a good immigrant should not have come into the equation. This new conservative policy is tarnishing Australia's reputation overseas. Why not appeal to Australians' patriotic pride by suggesting that their government return to their historic roots and show more compassion to the plight of refugees? This would also perpetuate the idea that the reputation of the nation mattered more than anything else.
This is the end of Section 4. You now have half